Marley. It's good to see you again.
Hi, it's nice to see you as well.
So last appointment we went over the confidentiality agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the points that we talked about?
Yeah, I'm pretty clear on the points that we talked about.
Okay, and did you want to go over it again?
No, I think we're okay with that. Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah.
So what would you like to talk about today?
So I'm really struggling with my parents. They're not letting me do the things that I want to do, like go hang out with my friends, my boyfriend. They're really restricting with use of the car, and they were never like that before. So this is kind of like a recent thing, like since the summer has kind of started, they've really like cut down on what I'm allowed to do, and I'm not really sure why. Like I'm working 2 jobs, and I've been pretty responsible with those jobs, but they've just really kind of been hesitant around what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do. So.
Wow, so that sounds frustrating. It sounds
Yeah.
like you're feeling restricted in your own life.
Mm-hmm.
So what changes have happened since summer?
Well, my boyfriend moved into his own house.
Okay.
So I've been going over there a lot, and it's just him in his own apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if they're uncomfortable with that, but they seem really hesitant, especially around my boyfriend. They've also been like really different around going to parties. Like if I've asked to go out with friends, like I've told them where I'm going, but they just will say no, or they'll get really mad and kind of lay guilt on me almost. So I feel like it's really difficult for me to kind of get past that, and all I want to do is hang out with my friends, and I feel like I can't do that.
Mm-hmm. So there are all these new rules happening that are surprising, a huge change from how things used to be.
Yeah.
Okay. So have your parents talked with you at all about these changes?
No, they don't talk. They're just, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's how they are. I feel like I'm putting a lot of hours in at work, and like I feel like I'm doing so much stuff with work, trying to save up to go to school and things like that, but I can't do anything else. Like they won't allow me to have a social life, and I feel really frustrated and almost like isolated from my friends. And I've tried, like, we've gotten in a few, like, loud arguments about that, and they'll either walk away or they just we don't come to, like, a solution or a conclusion on, like, the agreement. So I find it's, like, really difficult to feel like I have my own sort of life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it sounds like you're working really hard towards your own independence, and you're making a lot of mature decisions with working so many jobs and saving so much money for school.
Yeah.
And that's really commendable. You're doing a great job doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's hard when your parents aren't seeing the work that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You can see how that'd be frustrating.
Yeah, I'm not sure, like, just because, like, my boyfriend and I have been together for, like, a year, so it's someone that they've known for a while, and I don't really know where the change went, and so I'm not really sure kind of where that's going or what they're going to do about that, but it just kind of has all of a sudden changed, and they're so strict about everything.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that a lot of the conflict is kind of revolved around your boyfriend? From some of the things you're saying, it seems like that might be the case.
I feel like that's kind of the biggest one that I find like affects me the most. Although they have still been really restrictive with my friends and like, but mostly going to parties for the majority of the time. Like my friends aren't as big of an issue as it is my boyfriend as well.
Okay. How was their relationship with him prior to him getting his own apartment?
With my parents and my boyfriend?
Yes.
It was okay. He would come over sometimes and like we could have family dinners and stuff. I wouldn't say it was like particularly close. Like they wouldn't hang out with him outside of him being around me.
Okay.
But they never presented it as a problem before. I know that he kind of recently got let go of his job, so he's been around home a lot more and around his friends a lot more, and they know that just because I've like disclosed that information with them. But aside from that, like nothing's really changed.
And so you mentioned that you tried to talk with your parents about this, and it wasn't very successful.
No, it just kind of turns into a loud, heated argument. Like my dad gets super frustrated and will kind of like try to control what my mom, like even if my mom's starting to give way a little bit, like my dad will be like, no, not happening.
So your dad is kind of dominating that conversation.
Yeah, a little bit.
And would you say that what you're saying is being heard by your parents?
Not really. I feel like they're just trying to more so control me. So as soon as I start trying to bring up like that I'm responsible and I've been doing my work and been able to go to work and save money and all that stuff, like they don't hear that side of it. It's just no, I don't want her to be around him, or I don't want her going to this party. And I feel like that's kind of the main focus of it.
Mm-hmm. So when thinking about their point of view, what reasons do you think they have for believing that or saying that you shouldn't go to parties or you shouldn't?
Well, I'm sure they're trying to just keep me safe and make sure that I'm not doing anything I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm sure there's a concern around alcohol at parties and like my friends get really crazy, but I'm not like that. So I don't know if the influence they think that my friends are on me will change how I am, but I feel like it could be a possibility. So they might be thinking about that and just wanting to keep me out of that situation as much as possible to like keep me safe and secure and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you think your parents are acting, as hard as it is for you, you think they're acting in what they believe to be your best interest in keeping you safe.
Yeah, I just kind of wish they would trust me a little more and not put it so much on my friends who they can't really control, but like I feel like they have reason to trust me and they should, and I haven't given them reason not to, so I feel like that's difficult.
And you bring up some very fair points that you have a good history of making responsible choices. You're clearly a responsible person and can manage to have 2 jobs and do a lot of saving. And I think that that's too bad that your parents aren't really seeing all of the work that you're putting in there.
Yeah, I think they still kind of acknowledge that I'm doing a lot of hard work, but it's just not allowing me to be independent. Like I'm 18, so like I should be able to go out on my own and kind of do my own stuff. And my brother was allowed to when he was older, and so I'm not sure like why it's different between him and I.
So how do you see this resolving itself? If you could imagine the best possible outcome, what do you picture?
If my mom and dad and I could sit down, actually my sister could probably sit down too, because I've been able to talk to her a lot about things. So even if we could sit down as the 4 of us and kind of talk things out in a calm manner instead of it always getting riled, even compromising and like coming to, you can hang out with him like 1 day or 2 days a week, but you can't sleep over there, or something that like kind of still has them have boundaries, but like maybe making it known that in the future that might happen, like things might have to change. I don't really know.
So from what you're saying, sound like coming to an agreement and to decisions that you can both be happy with and not be arguing over and creating conflict.
Yeah.
Okay. So in order to make that happen, what steps do you think we need to take?
Well, I think firstly, like we need to be able to sit down and just talk without yelling. I think that's the only way that they're gonna, like, I feel like they also have to be open to hearing my side of the story and like how I feel, and not being able to see my friends, like how that affects me and stuff. And see if there's other things that they have that I don't know about, that they're worried about. I don't know, like I feel like if we were just able to like talk back and forth and talk it out, like maybe we'd be able to better understand both sides.
And you said your sister is somebody close to you that you've been talking to.
Yeah.
So do you think she would be a good ally for you in this conversation?
I think so. I think she'd also be like a good like middle person, like middle ground. She could kind of maybe sit and hear both sides, because even when I talked to her, she said, well, like mom and dad are probably only doing what's good for you. So like she's also been that person for me.
Okay.
So I think that she would definitely probably be an asset to talking things through.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a good relationship with her, and she can see where your parents are coming from, but can support you as well.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself being able to have this discussion in the next week?
I think so. Like, I think like I'm ready to just sit down and calmly talk about things. Like, I hope they are too. So I definitely think that that's a goal that I can reach this week sometime.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a really great plan. You came up with that all on your own.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. So I'll see you next week, and we can talk about this some more.
Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you. Well, this is awkward.
You can just like cut this whole part out.
Okay.